If you had to explain Wadapalooza competition to someone who didn't really know, how would you explain this?
I would just say it's a CrossFit competition in Miami, and then you pretty much fill in the blanks, I think, appropriately.
Wadapalooza is like Christmas, Hanukkah, Happy New Year's, like all the holidays, and even whatever celebrate, all wrapped up in one.
I think it's an event unlike any others.
It's the most inclusive community event that the sport of CrossFit has.
It's the experience that they're able to put together. It feels like you're in the middle of a club. It's so fun.
You know, it sounds cliche, but I think until you experience Wadapalooza, it's really hard to know what it means and what it's about.
We figured it's like, well, if we're gonna celebrate, well, let's do it doing the thing that we love most, throwing down.
It's a cool vibe, man. I mean, I wish I would have done this when I was competing.
When you get here, there's something about the environment that just makes it more fun.
I've heard people say before that it's hands down their favorite competition of all the ones that happen all over the world. As you can see, like, it draws like all the athletes. I mean, the top of the sports come here to compete.
Wadapalooza did a great job getting a lot of the top-notch athletes, so it feels like you're just at the CrossFit Games.
All around, from the level of competition to the atmosphere, the environment is just unlike anything else in the space.
Question as to whether or not you should come to Wadapalooza, I think you've got to ask the inverse to yourself, which is, why wouldn't you come?
Since 2012, Wadapalooza has been part festival, part celebration, and part competition. It has evolved from a local gathering into a must-see happening for fans around the world. And it is one of the biggest showcases for some of the greatest CrossFit athletes on the planet.
Covering Pat's third Wadapalooza victory. What? have you won Wadapalooza 3 times? Oh, shit.
Like many Canadians, Pat Vellner feels very at home in South Florida during the winter. In 2023, he is looking to win the elite men's division at Wadapalooza for the 4th time. A big reason for his success is his coach, former CrossFit Games athlete, Michelle Latondra.
You know, this weekend for Pat is going to be very telling. Pat does really well in environments like this. He's ready to compete hard for this competition.
While Pat Vellner is returning to Wadapalooza to regain his title, Emma Carey is simply returning to competition. After an impressive rookie season in 2021, a back injury forced her out of action the following season. Wadapalooza is her first competition in a year.
It's almost kind of like a chip on my shoulder now. Like, I had to miss last year, so this year needs to be worth it. Like, this year needs to be good enough for 2 years. And that's a lot of pressure to put on 1 year.
I don't know if you had like a bottle or anything you want to put ice in there. All right, you want me to go grab it for you? All right, is it over here?
Yeah, it's the blue grenades.
Matt Torres has played a major role in Emma's comeback. The coach from Brute Strength has helped rebuild her both mentally and physically.
You know, even though it was a back injury, we got to work on a ton of weaknesses and still keep the back safe, and now it's stronger than ever. And so it'll be fun to see the pieces come together.
Oh, let's get the first one in.
Was that it?
Yeah, I'll be fine. Hopefully the breeze dies down a little bit.
So what's really cool about this workout for Emma is she's gotten really strong this year. Stronger than what she was prior to the injury, specifically with squatting. So again, it's just a great test to see how training has gone.
Pat Vellner and Emma Carey are in Miami with the same goal: win. Both have the potential to achieve it. With only 7 events, there is little room for error, especially at the start.
Winter in Miami is better than summer in a lot of other places. It is a beautiful day for a celebration of fitness as the top CrossFit athletes in the world have descended on South Florida. We are set for the opening event. Bill, we're kicking things off with rings and squats presented by TYR.
And if you look at that setup, you have ring muscle ups, a back squat set, a front squat set, no overhead squat set, all with the same weight. We're 165 pounds here for the ladies. When we get to the men, it'll be 235.
Start with the 15 ring muscle up.
Beautiful kipping, lots of power and torque in those shoulders. Pat Vellner just looks so relaxed, Gymnastics and weightlifting, come on, this is where he's good. But geez, look at Emma. 1, depth, 2, the speed.
Vellner and Gerard have really separated themselves from the pack here. Emma Carey just blitzed her way through 7 front squats to take the lead. Event win looks like it's going to come down to 9 overhead squats. Vellner's going to dump it behind him. Final rep for Carey. She's going to get through cleanly and across the finish. Vellner looking to track down 3rd place in the event, and he will do that.
You couldn't plan it out any better. You know, your first workout back, you get first in the event. It's a good boost of confidence, that's for sure.
Good job, Pat. 3rd in the heat? Yeah, 3rd overall too. Our heat, Ricky and I were so fast.
I know you were.
Like I knew we were too, and I was like, man, why? And then it was like we're both on the overhead squat and we both went for it. He held on and I fell. But
How many did you get? 6, 7?
no, I did 2 and then missed the 3rd one behind me.
Oh wow.
Standing up. And then it was like, unless
break.
he dropped it, I'm like, I'm not even gonna try to get back on it. So, and then I actually did, I think only 3 or 4 more, dropped it again.
Oh wow, so you did 2-4-2 or something?
Yeah, and then actually Nick. Yeah, Nick did
Kind of broken, I think.
Yeah, he like almost tripped on like his 2nd last one. And that's what I was just watching. I had like 3 left.
Yeah.
At that point we had like 2 minutes to kill, so
Yeah.
there was no point in trying to like go on it really fast.
Back to the Future is the 2nd event in the elite competition. It is also the longest. Athletes will face 9 different movements and nearly 200 total repetitions.
So there are things that we've been working on a lot this year, like this rope climb, aerobic endurance, so on the runner. So now we get to see if the pieces are starting to come together. I think it's going to be a lot of breathing and it's going to be a lot of shoulder fatigue as well in this workout.
This is the kind of workout that Pat, I don't need to say anything, he knows how to navigate that workout. The plan is to get through the first part of the workout and then really push and be gutsy on the second part after the run.
Gorgeous day here in Miami, and 3rd and final heat up next here in event number 2, Back to the Future at the 2023 TYR Wodapalooza here at Bayfront Park.
This is a long, I don't say complicated, but there's a lot of things. You got to be smart when you're doing this one.
We are underway, and we start with the 4 legless rope climbs.
You know, I really think when you're looking at this event, you have to see it as a buy-in and a cash out. But you have to make sure that you're going to be smart on that run and then have enough to really send it as you get to the end.
Majority of the field is on to those overhead walking lunges.
The key's going to be this run.
Emma Carey, who has 1 lap left. 2 reps now for Pat Vellner. Final rep for Emma Carey. There's the touch, and that'll do it for Emma Carey. And Vellner has a chance to take 4th. And it looks like he's going to do it.
Man, what a great finish.
I'm gonna get in that cold bath as soon as I can again. Pat, boy.
What was the hardest part?
We were just saying, like, mentally that run kind of sucks. Like, you can lose a lot of time there dragging ass, but then you get like, it sucks for the first quarter of it. You're running so slow and you're like, you got to pick it up. And then you get halfway in and realize that you're like halfway through the workout. They start announcing it. They're like, Ricky's 900 meters in, so he's coming down the back half of the pyramid. And you're like, oh, fuck. I was at like 7.5 and I was like, oh shit.
When I said that, I was like, come on, tell me something else is going on. Where am I at?
Give me a boost.
Yeah. They're just telling everyone where I'm at. Fuck.
Both of these workouts so far have been really good. Pretty good executions for me, like a few mistakes, and not at all my strategy. So that's like my biggest one of the weekend so far, is just being able to be an athlete and know myself and know when it's okay. Like when I would get a better score maybe by breaking more. I couldn't do that at any competition I've done before. Like, I was so stubbornly attached to my strategy because that was like succeed or fail. And like experiences like this just show me that I have to do what's best for me. Like, doesn't matter what anyone else is doing, doesn't matter my expectations.
just the moment is what matters. So I'm having the best time.
One event remains on the opening day of competition, and it's a much different test than the athletes faced in the long grind of Event 2, Back to the Future. Start Fast, Finish Strong features 2 separately scored parts. The first is a sprint through 3 different movements. The second features a 1,000-meter row and a heavy sandbag.
Considering what the injury came from in Dubai with a 100-pound sandbag, I believe, I know that we've taken the right steps and we've done it the smart way to get her back to, getting through this. We don't need anything at a body that she's never done before. We just need her to do what she's done in practice. And she's stronger now, so there's nothing I'm worried about. It will be a good sigh of relief when we finish the workout, and then we can just go to bed and think about tomorrow.
We are closing out day number 1 of competition here. We go from Bayside to Flagler and the iconic backdrop of downtown Miami. It's a back-to-back challenge to close things out. It's start fast and finish strong. We are underway. We start with the 11 toes to bar and then the shuttle run. Again, it's near line back, far line back, near line back to complete the shuttle run, and then 22 more toes to bar.
This is a really tough toes to bar set. 22, you got to go unbroken.
Second set of hurdles here, 22 reps they need to complete. That's going to have a chance here to beat Brent Fikowski. So Felder weekend ahead of Fikowski by about 6 seconds. Boonger, Carey, and Powers all coming in, separated by just 7 seconds. And now we go into finish strong. 10-minute time cap starts with that 1,000-meter run.
I think it's about that D-ball bear hug carry because it is all grip if you want to do well here.
Past the 3-minute mark here. Emma Carey is onto the D-ball. They will advance every 5 reps. 20 total reps they need to complete.
Man, Pat just looks smoked.
They have to do 4 laps on that 300-foot carry.
I was trying. I started like this.
Yeah, it was just slippery.
Way more slippery. I started like this, and that was.
Yeah. It was just like, so it's just as slippery the other way as well.
And I tried like kind of going in the middle of it too. And
So what I would do in the future is I would bring a, I didn't, had we known, you know what I mean? What I would do in the future is always bring a towel with you. And just put it behind you. You can take it out, like this on top. Talk with it. Nothing we can do about it now, You did what you had to do to get through it.
That was like dumb mistakes. I didn't chalk my ball up.
No.
And I was just like sitting on the rower looking at it being like, you get a minute in, your heart rate comes down a bit, and I'm like, it's like, oh, you fucking blew that one. Also, because I'm long, the ball sits here. Yeah. And they kept telling me to like, hold it up like this, which is so hard for me.
Yeah.
Because that's not like a just like grip and relaxed position. That's like me going like, and like full arm flex. I'm like looking at the judges walking, and they're like, get up. I was like, God, no, I can't. I'm like trying to just lean back more. But it was good. Yeah. Good way to wrap it up.
Day 1 of competition is over. Pat Vellner and Emma Carey are in the hunt to put themselves on top of the podium. Both sit in second place in their respective divisions. 3 events remain. The party and the competition are just getting started. Each is about to get hotter. It's just what happens at Wadapalooza.